Story Ming. You either love her or you hate her. There is no in between. Hey guys, it's Amanda, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my thoughts on Story Ming. So if you guys read Shell Game, where she was originally introduced, you guys will know my kind of relationship with her. It doesn't really explain all of the stuff that she actually did to me, all the stuff she made me go through during that whole trip. So I am here to spill the tea. I am here to explain my side of the story on the Story Ming situation. So if you guys would want to know what happened behind the scenes that was never in the books, just keep on watching. So, a lot of you guys know Story Ming as the girl who kind of stole my boyfriend for like a week. And a lot of you might blame Finn for that, might say, wow, he was so invested in you and all of a sudden he moved on to this other girl. We're not going to talk about that. Me and my boyfriend have had plenty of conversations to do with that, and a lot of our fights actually end with me yelling at him saying, well, you kissed another girl! Okay, we're not going to go through that anyway. Basically, I'm going to be going through stories of my thoughts on her and stuff that she did. So let's start from the beginning. When we first got there and we had met her, things seemed pretty chill. There was just something off about her. And I have this kind of sense where I'm like, not only was she just completely flirting with Finn and, you know, touching his shoulder and laughing at his jokes, which made me uncomfortable, which we weren't official, but you get the point from past books. You guys know kind of the relationship we were in at the time. So that made me uncomfortable. And I remember telling Finn multiple times, like, she's giving me weird vibes. I don't like the vibes she's giving me. I can usually pick up on people pretty well, and she was just giving me a vibe that I was not comfortable with. And if you guys read the books, I should actually put a spoiler alert thing here. If you guys read the books, you guys know towards the end, she isn't who she said she was. So, I was right, and now every time that I sense somebody is kind of off, I tell Finn, you know, I was right about stories, I'm probably right about them, you know. Anyway, so she just gave me this kind of totally weird vibe. I did not like it at all. And I remember I went to dinner one time, and she would do this thing where she would always sit next to him. She would always make it so she always sat next to him, and I always ended up sitting at the same table across from him or far away from him or at a totally different table completely. It became very annoying because none of the other keepers really caught up on it. They were just kind of like, oh, they're together, they're talking, whatever, like, she's trying to help us or whatever. And I just saw it as she's trying to take my boyfriend, because obviously everyone can tell Finn is a very attractive guy. He's very well liked considering he is the leader of the keepers. And so obviously I'm going to have to fight off all those girls. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, it made me uncomfortable, obviously, because I liked him and this girl is coming trying to steal my man. Simple as that. Accidentally spilled something on me. I remember once she had a drink and she accidentally spilled it on me. That's something I don't think was really in the books. I know you guys are probably gonna want to know about the kiss and everything, like what I thought when I found out about the kiss, which we're gonna get into that. But before they ended up going into that room, I don't think this is really written in the books, but the reason I wasn't there at the time is because she actually ended up spilling something on me, and so I had to go change, obviously, and that's when she kind of took the time to be like, hey, like, come here, like, let's go, like, talk and hang out, whatever. And she would do that a lot. She would do things to get me out of the way, because, obviously, she wanted my man. It made me very uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I would go out and ask Mavic, like, where's Finn? And he'd always tell me, oh, he's out with Story, like, oh, they're out at the pool together, oh, they're out, like, doing whatever together, like, it was always this whole thing. My thoughts on the kiss, when I found out about it, obviously I was furious, especially when I read about it. Any book that in the orphanage, like, because I have all of the King Keepers books, obviously I get them sent to me whenever new ones are made, obviously, because I'm in them. So Ridley obviously sends them to us, sponsored, I'm kidding, but Basically, every single book that is Shell Game that has that page in it where it like talks descriptive of their kiss, every single book that any of the keepers own, that I own, I have ripped out that page. That is how furious I'm about it, especially Finn's. Especially Finn's. I ripped out Finn's and tore it and threw it in a fire. Yeah, it makes me kind of mad. Uh, yeah. Yeah, so my thoughts on the kiss, I was obviously furious. Now it doesn't really bother me that much, probably because I'm in a relationship with him. We haven't seen Story in forever, and obviously Finn's not really involved with an overtaker girlfriend, so I don't really think I have to worry about anything. But yeah, this is I also wanted to tell this story because this is kind of like the big story and one of the reasons why I hated her, along with, everything else, but one of the big reasons why I hated her. So I was getting ready, and Finn and I were planning on having this beautiful, like, romantic date. Like, he had planned this romantic, like, dinner and whatever. We were gonna go out to the pool. We were gonna go dance, like, whatever. It was just supposed to be, like, this really nice date. None of the keepers were gonna be around because if you guys don't know, the keepers do like to crash our dates a lot. It's just what they like to do. And in some ways, I'm bothered by it, but in other ways, I just try to be like, oh, that's funny. Like, you guys are funny. Like, I love you guys. So I love them. They're my family. So, I try not to be bothered by it. But this one night in particular, the keepers were actually leaving us alone. The rest of the keepers are actually leaving us alone. But the one who had to ruin it, of course, was Story Ming herself. Yay, she's my favorite person. So, she ended up coming in my room and she was helping me with my hair and my makeup and my clothes. Obviously, I was kind of like, I don't really want her around me. I don't feel comfortable with her being around. But Willow was in the room, so I kind of just felt a little bit more safe. I'm like, she's really not going to do anything until Willa decides that she needs to go talk to Philby. Mind you, Willa is on my side with this entire story because she hated Story just as much as I did because Philby also was infatuated with her. Pretty much all the guys were infatuated with her. Even Maybeck said that she was attractive. Like, I don't think he really, like, left Charlene ever for Story, but he was infatuated with her too. So Willa goes to go talk to Philby or whatever because he was like texting her and they need to talk. I have no idea their whole story or whatever, but I just know that Willa left the room and Story and I were in the room together and she ends up telling me that she needs to go take my clothes and go like freshen them up or something. I don't know. But when she comes back with them, they are a completely different color. I had this really cute like it was like this like plaid shirt and it was kind of light blue, like faded a little bit. And this girl somehow got this huge stain on the front of it. So I'm like, I cannot go out like with this huge stain. And I wanted to wear something nice, and that was one of the only nice clothes that I have because I'm an orphan. I don't have that many good clothes and everything. I was trying to dress a little bit more fancy. Of course, it's plaid. Everyone knows I love plaid. But still, I wanted to dress a little bit more fancy. So I take the shirt and I go start washing it and like trying to scrub this out. And then she leaves. And by the time that I finish, cleaning up, it still has a little bit on there. I put it on or whatever. I try to open the door. It's locked. This girl locked me in my own room. So she goes and she basically went on the date with Finn. She went on my date with Finn. Mind you, Finn didn't even check on me. And she also took my phone, so I couldn't even call. So, they went on a date for like an hour, and Willa didn't ever come back. Like, she wasn't coming back for me, and I was like, okay, this is great. And apparently, as I've known from Finn, Story just ended up telling him, like, oh, I have no idea where Amanda is. And then she made up this whole story about, like, something that happened with the Overtakers so that she could get his mind off of me. And then once she did, she ended up talking to him about other stuff, whatever. And it ended up in another kiss that was not in the books, but whatever. Willa comes back an hour later. She ends up getting the boys, Philby and Maybeck, to come save me and rescue me. I don't know if they'll end up making stories about this whole story of, like, I don't think they probably will, but, they end up saving me. They end up knocking the door down. We had to pay for that. But, long story short, I ended up getting out, and I was mad. I was so mad. And I ended up telling Finn the entire story. He ended up getting kind of a little bit iffy about it, but he said the door was broken. As I said, he was infatuated with her, as were all of the other boys, so they wouldn't really listen to us. But, yeah, that's my story. It's kind of my thoughts on Story Ming. I don't like her. She did a lot of really bad things and kind of made me upset. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is just like a kind of fun, like, short video thing. I will see you guys in my video next week. I hope you guys are enjoying that this channel is coming back up and all of the keepers are starting to put more effort into this channel along with myself, and I'm really excited for what's in store for us. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, keeper fans.